Yeah, we have an 11 here, or a 2, you know? And we have the Knight of Wands. So somebody in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So it might not be quite abusive because I've got it stuck sideways. It might be just manipulative and back and forth. We have back and forth here with the 2 swords and the 3. Okay, all right. So this is what's going to go together here, because that's what I was asking. What's the heartbreak about? Okay, so there's a situation where there's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, in and out, in and out, in and out. And these need to be reconciled in order to... Wow, is there any advice for that? Does that have to just wait for the rest of this? Because this is a lot of you. This is you and them. This is about you and your spirit guides. This is about you and your professional guides right now. And the patience. Yes, we've got patience here. So let's just, okay. Let's see if there's one more here. Okay, take it sideways. I think that's more than enough information for now. 9 of Pentacles and the Coffin. So something needs to be in an 8 of strength, proving yourself to yourself. In the coffin or out of the coffin? In the coffin or out of the coffin? Yes? And that independence. But the 9 of Pentacles for me is Capricorn, not Virgo, because I rearranged everything to match the houses. So this is why this is Gemini energy for me, because I'm putting it with 3rd house energy. And I'm putting this with 10th house energy. So that independence of having proving yourself to everyone, but also Pentacles is deep, 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 that deep magic. Remember how I was saying you've got these things that need to be, you've got this comfort zone of being with them, yes, in this wonderful muse energy of they only pull you into alignment. You speak the same language, you all know the same things, there's no disagreement, there's a lot to talk about, yes, and a lot to know and a lot that's unknown, but nobody's out to attack you over here, right? You're all on the same team. Meanwhile, over here, manifesting the magic in the world is all about confronting the disagreement, confronting and basically bringing on attacks, right? That's where we are with this 4 of Cups, and that's why the Mars energy, the warrior, the emperor, right? What are you willing to fight for and die for? And then and I'm not saying you need to die for something right now. I'm just saying, what do you need to go through all the headaches of, and the fear. We're talking about fear and suffering, possibly, for getting into this deep, deep magic. The Pentacles is like the magic to end all magic, because it's pulling the spiritual and the physical together, yes? So everybody talks about Pentacles as being grounded and looking after the material world and making sure that your bills are paid and all that stuff. And I would say that's because they don't get it. They don't actually embrace the war. Most everybody else wants to, in the reading world, want to avoid the war. They want to focus on the higher self and ascending and pushing away the negativity. And that's not realistic, because demons are real. Sorry, they are. Children are really trafficked. Evil runs, it's a prison planet, okay? We're coming back to what the Naga know. And so, yes, this is a world that appears to have the option of freedom in it, and beautiful nature, things to explore, possibilities, and if you try hard enough, even if you're a slave, yeah, right, bullshit. Okay, so even if, Sloan Bella is my person for this. Sloan Bella Psychic. Go to her YouTube channel and listen to what she has to say. Or not, but No, so that's what it's this. It's this. It's what you're coming out of the coffin for. And can you cope with it? You know, because of course this is it's a Jesus type energy. It's like, are you up for crucifixion, basically? Even if there isn't one, are you willing to, in faith, stick with your guides? Can you harness it all? Passages. Walking through passages of your transformation. Is there anywhere in particular? Well, that's a passage up there. Because it's a 2. Oh, I got more than 1 2. It can't really go wrong with that though. Okay. Deeper. Well, this is all deeper would explain why there's some distance to go. Patience, everything will soon come to light, and then you'll see everything will be all right. Others involved. Patience. Well, that's your dog right there. But if we put it in there, then it's connecting this situation, right? With this situation and with them. Okay. So what I'll pause and we're gonna finish with the Wild Kuan Yin. Let's get into Mel Brown's cards. Let's get into the illusions and the justice, and as quickly as possible, because it's a bit to get through. But I really feel like whatever is yours to do, Pisces, and it depends. And if you do your, I don't think you're confused at this point about that. I think you know exactly what it is or what they are. I think it's a lot of things, and you've been working on them. Absolutely, because this is completion energy. But I'm wondering, what's the decision is it the technicalities? Is it it's this, but is it really? You're going to do it anyway. You're going to do it anyway. So what are we aiming for in this reading? Where's the sore spot? Is it over here? Like we know we know what is this a specific relationship, or is this the fear of so many or like what's okay. All right. Well, I mean, we do have the ultimate relationship card on the table here, and we have the bouquet with the Queen of Swords and a 9 of proving yourself to everyone. Queen of Swords is Aquarius for me. Others would put her as Gemini, but for me she's 11th house, so she's right squaring off, not squaring, she's opposing, like she needs to be reconciled to this Tower. They have to succeed together. So however that hits you. Now, are you the Queen of Swords? Somebody's a good communicator, somebody's a leader, somebody is like they've prioritized communication as a life path. No bullshit, of course. And I just think it's you know, it's this... The bouquet is a claim. It's like a Six of Wands energy. It's getting the approval for being unique, yes. It's winning instead of losing for all your areas of nonconformity and everything. So we're dealing with a fear of failure. In and out, in and out, in and out, possibly. Okay. All right. Hang on. Okay, so here is, now we've got like passages represented there as well, right? And what we were saying about the blue, so communicating, yes. Everything is not black and white, right? Okay, and this is Mal. Amazing, amazing healer and human being. And her guides. Hold it up. Illusions are truth in different variations. The truth of a situation may not be your truth, but it's the truth for somebody else. And this is what creates illusions. For things may not be what they seem, only what you understand them to be. Our illusions are not negative, provided you understand others may have different illusions, therefore everything can be subjective. No matter how clear something is for you, others may view it differently. Their views are based on their understanding of the situation and the perceptions they hold. Neither is wrong or right, it's simply your truth. You may be thinking you're being deceived by a loved one or someone close to you, right? So, are we talking about the Two of Swords and the Three of Swords? Yes? You're feeling like you're powerless in this matter. Jealousy and anger are tying you up in knots. Look closely at the situation as it is illusion. Look closely at who is actually pulling the strings. There's possibly a third person involved in this situation you've not considered. This third person may be the puppet master. Before assuming the worst, take some time to think the situation through and talk openly and honestly with others involved. Together you will sort through these issues and resolve the matter that's been affecting your relationship. When this matter is brought into the open, the third person will cease to have the power they once did. The problem will simply disappear. So that either resonates completely or not at all. There might be something that isn't coming to mind right off the bat that will come up later on. There might be blocks, but yeah. Okay, good. That was a quick study. And remember that we had the repeat emphasis on justice. Was it with one of the doors? Yes, the arch, the victory arch, the Vishaka Nakshatra. So I pointed out that we had extra Libra energy on the table here, which would be 7th house, right? So others, but I actually find I find out more about myself in the 7th house than even in the 1st house. So if you look at your, well, you'd need the sidereal chart and everything. There's other stuff, but yeah, no, it's in my 7th house placements that I actually find the affirmations for who I am. Balance. I'll hold it up in a second. I'm just going to get to the page. Okay, and so again we have the purple energy, but we actually just have Libra right here. I think gold and silver. Gold and silver being measured out, weighed out. Yes. So, third eye, what you know, which is an interesting contrast to what you need to find out. Okay. Balance is often defined as a set of scales which are only in balance when both sides are equal. Balance in life is not this simple. If you think all aspects of life need to be equal for balance, then imagine spending 12 hours at work and 12 hours at home. Balance is more like a spinning top, provided everything is stacked neatly and in reasonable proportions. The top will spin evenly. What was I saying about... Yeah. Well, I mean, I got into that because of balance, but also because of Pisces. Needing the structure and the organization, right? The top will spin evenly. When something shifts and the top becomes unbalanced, and just like I said, the cruise ship has to be ballasted correctly, or it rides too high in the water and it can keel, yeah? And then you have Poseidon adventure. And you will have to readjust the way in which you originally stacked everything. When something shifts in the top, so if this relationship is shifting, but it's shifting because of everything you're going through as well, right? Everything's working together. So it's reevaluation time. Time to throw out those things that no longer serve you. It's a tricky time because you never know what you may need for later on. For now, the energy involved in maintaining some relationships is too much for you. You're consumed with keeping everyone else happy, and this is taking its toll on you. Yeah, because you have all of this to do. Put friends and relationships in storage if you need to. Don't dispose of them, just put them aside for a while and see what happens. In most cases, you will forget you even had them, while the important ones will understand and will wait until you get back to them. Find a balance of people in your life who don't require too much maintenance. Make time in your life to allow these people to enhance your life and give you the love and attention that should rightfully be yours. Bada boom. Thank you so much, Mel and Mel's Guides. Absolutely. Well done. I love her decks. So I love Pamela Coleman Smith. I love all the decks that I have because I'm very picky about them. Puts it so clearly. I'm going to take a moment to pause and just thank her. There are reasons why that is difficult over there right now. It's because they're on the path with you. Like they need to be where they're at right now. And it's okay. It's okay for you to take the time for this because it is so huge. So the Four Cups, the pause button. Because there's multiple meanings to this. Yeah. Because there's also all the awareness. The safe passage of the moon, the timing, right? All your guides are here, and there are a lot of them. That's very clear. So the Two of Wands is all about. Okay, do you worry about these guys right now? That's what I'm getting from this. Okay, so this is absolutely necessary to set the tone for where we're going to go with this, with Susan Shepherd's card, okay? So, and where do we have, what number do we have here? We have a 15, okay, which does give us the singular 1 of the 10, yes, the completion of the 10, and then that breaks down to a 1, you, and the 5 of necessary change, right? And then we combine them, of course, and get 6. Love. And a gift. Okay, so this is the Celtic mirror, and it's from Susan Shepherd's Amazing Phoenix. Susan left our earthly plane last April 19th. She also had to leave her 22-year-old daughter, and the day that she left, I actually had a shamanic dream. I had somebody all in white feathers come to me and ease a huge amount of, they just lifted a huge amount of anxiety off of me. I can't even remember what the anxiety was about, but, and I didn't know that that was the day that she passed until months later. I went looking for her for something to do with either the Black Moon astrology cards, which were the first deck that I ever got. Yeah, I was going to reference something from them. And so I went to her website, and that's how I found out. So, very strong, amazing person. And now I'll give you an idea of what her layout looks like. I really recommend everybody get this deck. Also Mel Brown's deck. They're just absolute go-to decks for me personally. Okay, so this is how she does it. I don't know why she left Mars out. She probably explains it somewhere. But it's really interesting because we've got Mars on the table here. So I think we understand Mars. But I'm an Aries sun and a Scorpio rising. So I'm double Mars. And my Mars is in Cancer. And right now, Mars is almost partnered up with Venus, leaving Sagittarius for Capricorn. So it's a very interesting time for balanced energy. Yes. Okay. So now in the sun position, I'm going to read through each of those positions. For me, sun is your triggers and your instincts. And I'll hold the card up so you can consider it while I'm there. I'll try not to glare it up. This card choice indicates a deepening of your psychic powers and intensified will. Thank you. You're concerned with matters of life and death. Okay, so this is very straightforward. And show little interest in the common or mundane. It's impossible for you to be lukewarm. The energy you generate is dynamic and overwhelming. Old friends may shun this strange new you, but you will develop more eccentric, fascinating relationships to take their place. So we're looking at that tower there, are we not? Not to mention the Pluto. Your mind often turns to the mystery surrounding death and the possibility of an afterlife. You're most in tune with the unseen world. Do not be surprised if you encounter ghosts and spirits along the way. A veil is now being lifted. Yes. Yes. It's that real. It's that serious. You know it. So next level. Okay. So again, there will be triggers. So that's why the pain is being triggered. You're probably under attack. I'm going to say that. And that might not be something that you normally think about. It might not be in your philosophy. But don't be internalizing anything as a complex or anything psychological that's not psychological. If it's a demon, it's a demon. If it's the devil, if it's the all-seeing eye out to shut you down, then it's not you self-sabotaging, it's them coming after you. And I deal with gang stalkers. I go out, it's part of my thing. I'm born under Kali's star as well. So, yours is now in the moon position, okay? So your conscience, as far as I'm concerned. Yours is the ability to penetrate and pierce any mystery now. Your perceptive powers are at an all-time peak level. The unconscious mind is sending out many powerful messages that you must heed. So all of that purple energy. And the blue of communicating, yes. There's a sense of looking through everything to see at core level the way things really are. Do not mistake this for cynicism. You're looking at the mirrored surface of the pond while perceiving the hidden life at the bottom. Okay, I mean, that's pretty personal. Okay, I had to break away for actually even a couple of days, Pisces, further to the point. What with my Pisces, Mercury, South Node, and Moon, or split Moon, with Aquarius, but I had to go look after finishing up some work because I got overwhelmed and terrified. So I know we just finished the Moon position, and it did get personal. It got personal. So here I am back, and we'll read the Mercury position now, which would be your mind and imagination. And your mind has taken a, now if this applies, if this is resonating, right? Your mind has taken a sharp turn and developed a cutting edge. Ease up on any tendency towards cynicism or sarcasm. ease up on any tendency because it'll come out too sharp. Okay. You're able to see through the facade and get to the core of any issue. You're feeling especially curious about secrets, and it's difficult for others to win your trust. You're more in tune with the collective unconscious now. Your intellectual prowess is magnified by its newfound depth. This is a time when wishes are fulfilled. This is exactly... Yeah, you're right there. And it probably feels like the razor's edge. Because it is... Sorry about the water in my neighbor's apartment. Is this going to work or not? Is this going to work or not? Oh my God. They do this to me. They time it so perfectly. Okay. Okay, so here's where it's going to get sticky, and I'm going to write the Venus position. And that would be... Okay, so... And not forgetting that there is that... The Mercury is both Gemini, which you know, and Virgo. And so we've got showing up ahead of time in Gemini, and then being a Time Lord in Virgo. So the time sensitivity of this. I was thinking about the Tower again as well, but I gotta remember what that was. Okay. In the Venus position, the Celtic mirror indicates a need for intense involvements. You tend to handle intimate involvements with an obsessive zeal. You're not an easy person to approach, but when you do give yourself to another person, it's with total and absolute loyalty. Such powerful expectations can cause disappointments that create a certain burnout or cynicism on your part. Most people take relationships more lightly than you do. And this is, believe me, this is, if that's like making you pissed off, yeah, I'm still working with it. The first time this was handed to me in a personal reading, I'm still working with it, and it's like a month and a half later or so. Most people take relationships more lightly than you do. It's important that you learn to ease up on your intensity. Unless you do, each relationship will create an unhappy experience for all involved. That's a lot of weight to carry. To take the blame for all of that. Learn to be more at ease with your feelings and to love both lightly and deeply. There must be a balance for good feelings to flower. So as a Scorpio rising and a Scorpio Neptune, I don't want to color this too much for you if that doesn't hit you too hard. If you're okay with that and it mostly makes sense. If it's hitting hard, the way I've been internalizing it since reading it, I do appreciate that there is intensity, yes. It's in your chart. It's who you are. I don't know if anybody else that's being affected by your intensity has studied their chart, has studied their astrology, has gone to tarot readings over and over and over again, carries all crowns, because Pisces wears all crowns. And there's a reason for it. Because big things have to be done with Pisces. So that's why I lined the Chariot up with you, because the Emperor rides the Chariot, and the Emperor is the King of Kings, the Queen of Queens, right? So the king that wears all the crowns, the queen that wears all the crowns. And has the balance, yes. But Pisces is the balance. Pisces is the two fish, but the Chariot has the two horses. Pisces is innately organized. It's other people that bring the disorganization and the lack of awareness. But they know that they want something from you. They know they want the depth. They all have Pisces in their chart. They all have 12th houses. They all have Neptunes. Are they doing anything about it? So, I've been easing up for my own sake. There is a pain with that, definitely, because I'm not into loving less. And if I need to love less, then I need to be false to myself for the sake of other people's feelings. That's where I'm at right now. I do understand, yes, it must make me hard to approach. I don't want people walking on eggshells, but you know, people don't walk on eggshells when they come to take advantage of me. And they do that a lot. Because you're a sweetheart, Pisces. I know it can turn, if it's going wrong, it can turn sharp, for sure. But so can anybody else. The point is you'll find that exactly the thing to say at the depth that you're able to reach. That'll cut deeper than most others are capable of cutting. But in the context of this read, this is all about you being right and trusting yourself. And we need to balance Susan, because I don't ever... I'm too grateful to Susan. She makes me think about the things. Like, she's putting something in front of me, yes, that I need to get a perspective on. And she wrote it as... And maybe she didn't have everything all sorted out when she wrote it, right? But she knew that it mattered. So we balance that with this. Yes? The people are going to have to wait. The people who didn't do the work to get it, because they're on their own schedule, that's fine. Everybody's got their own timeline. But they're going to have to wait while you look after you. I don't know how to say that you have to apply psychological and behavioral modification to what's an astrological characteristic. What I do know is you take the astrological and you harness what is the positive of it, because there's nothing you can do about your chart except to harness it and turn it all in your favor and embrace yourself as magic. So everything that's good about the intensity, you know how to back off. You know how to, so maybe it just has to be less dramatic, or you have to back off before things get upsetting. Maybe things need to be explained a bit better. But I really don't know how to tell people that I'm going to start loving them less, just to make them feel better. This isn't, she is applying a psychology and a behavioral modification, psychological and behavioral modification to this, and I think we need to approach it astrologically, because it's astrological. And the whole beautiful thing for me in finding out that parts of me were only explainable through astrology. I'd done a whole bunch of behavior modification all my, for decades before finding out, oh, that I can pin on a chart. It's not that I have to leave it being poorly aspected or anything. No. But what a gift to find out that you're Pisces, or strongly Pisces positioned. What a gift to find out that, you don't have to look at anything else in your life to explain. You can go to the astrologers that have done the work. And again, Vidya Mitra with the Nakshatras give you even more. And it puts the world in a magic context. It puts the world in a spiritually powerful context, which gives you back all of everything. So that's what I need to say about that. The easing up, yes, in some way, but in a way that serves you before it serves anybody else. Because unless they're doing the work as well, and then it's not an issue, right? Because everything's mutual. But you don't need to be sitting around going, pointing the finger at yourself. And I feel Susan's talking through this with me as I go. And mostly, it's, you know, it's still more helpful to be faced with something that I've got to wrestle with. Because then we have the articulation and we have the awareness. So I still like the friction of what she gives. So now I'm going to go to the Saturn position, which would be your fears, boundaries, and calculated risks. All right. Any misuse of power in a past life, well, and that's if you are, now we're getting into karma and past lives, right? So it depends on, now with karma, here we get into Krishna territory where he did this to us. The great architect did this to us. This is a prison planet. So if we have been here before,